Good afternoon. Welcome to the Africa Climate Summit, and thank you very much for taking part in this interview. I would like you to start by introducing yourself to our audiences.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. My name is Ute Klamert. I'm the Assistant Executive Director of the World Food Programme. The World Food Programme is based in Rome, but we are the largest UN organization with 23,000 staff members, and I'm really in charge of advocacy and partnership and really, make it going that our agenda is heard. Quite an exciting job, I have to say. Yeah.
Great. So here we are in Nairobi, Kenya, at the largest gathering, a historic gathering, the largest gathering in the continent's history on climate change. What is the relevance of this summit to an organization like the World Food Programme?
A super relevant question for us. That's our core business right now, because at the end of the day, climate change is really, reducing access to food and is increasing hunger. So there is a clear correlation between climate and the combination of climate change and crisis, driving the hunger agenda. And that's very unfortunate. So I would say, if you look at the figures, it's very interesting, for us to know, and very worthwhile to note, that climate change was prompting in the last year, in 2022, climate extreme weather events, prompting more than 56 million people into acute hunger situation. And that is very alarming. So as a World Food Programme, really trying to transform food systems, we have to deal with the climate agenda, take the climate agenda on board, focusing not so much on mitigation, of course, but focusing really on climate adaptation. That's our agenda right now. This is why we are here.
Great. And tell us a little bit then about the link between climate change and food issues, first of all, and food security issues, and then what kind of programming is WFP implementing to address the impact of climate change on the world's food supply?
As I'm saying, there is a direct correlation between climate change and hunger. So, and we are operating really in 120 countries across the world in the most fragile settings to really try to address the food situation and the hunger situation. So what we are currently doing is, I would say, three pillars. It's the issue of anticipate, protect, and really respond. And the issue of adaptation is so crucial, because in the moment you invest in prevention, you're not in a way exposing people to the climate extremes. So we really have to, in a way, embark on quite a set of new programs, Yvonne, and quite a set of different kind of approaches. And I would say that starts with really investing in nature-based solutions, climate-resilient infrastructure, change the production of agriculture, really making it very clear, that you can, in a way, know what's coming, right? Early warning systems, anticipatory action, build resilience as much as we can. But the difficult story is, in the moment we are, all of us, successful in terms of prevention, no one is talking about it. If something is happening, a climate extreme event, and you have to respond, and of course we have to respond because we have a huge humanitarian mandate, then, there is a kind of difficult situation out there. So to advocate for the prevention and to advocate for the anticipatory action and to advocate for early warning and really, in a way, protect people and build the resilience of individuals, communities, and definitely also, nations. That's our agenda right now.
Fantastic. And lastly, when an organization like WFP comes to an event like this, it's a rare event, what is the message that you want to send to those who are in positions to influence the objectives of WFP programming, governments, policymakers? What is the ultimate message to them that you would craft or create from an event like this?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for this question, because we see us as the advocates for the vulnerable people, really, and because a climate agenda can be very broad.
Yes.
Yeah. What we want really to be seen as the advocate for the most vulnerable in the world, because the most vulnerable, they are not heard,
Yes.
they have no voice or hardly a voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's for us very important, that this kind of, let me say, that kind of situation is addressed. What we know is that climate financing is not reaching the most vulnerable, yet they are the most affected. I visited yesterday the Dadaab camp here in Kenya.
Yes, in northern Kenya, the
And
Dadaab refugee camp.
it exists for decades.
Yes.
And what we realized and what I got to know yesterday, 130,000 refugees, mainly women with their children, arrived, 130,000 arrived during the last year. They lost children on their way. They had to carry water. They had to carry everything they own. They had to carry the food, and they're arriving there, and they have to, in a way, be accommodated. We spoke to them yesterday, and what they said yesterday, they had been deciding to leave their home country because of drought and because of conflict. But the question is, how are we, in a way, translating their bad experience, their exposure, their vulnerability to these conference centers, to the panels, right? And that is our role that we are really advocating. My last one is, we know where they are, we know who they are, we know what they need. Solutions are out there. So the question is very simple, from our side to policymakers. Try to get climate funding to the most vulnerable, and you will see a different world.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time. This has been a great interview.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.